Buckle up, folks, because last night The View turned into a straight-up circus that had everyone glued to their screens. Ricky Gervais, the British comedy legend, stormed off set after Sunny Hostin tried to nail him for hiding hate speech behind jokes. But hold up, he didn't just take it, he flipped the whole game, exposing Sunny's own history of nasty, discriminatory comments that ABC fought hard to keep buried. What started as a plug for his new Netflix special became a jaw-dropping takedown of the View selective outrage. It was all politics, no principles, and Gervais brought receipts. This is the wildest TV moment you'll hear about all year. So let's dive into the chaos. The ABC studios in New York were buzzing with tension from the second Gervais walked in. It was a crisp morning, the kind where you feel something big's about to go down. Ricky at 62 strolled in with that cheeky grin, like he owned the place. He was there to talk up his new stand-up special, Censorship and Comedy, No Holds Barred, already sparking firestorms online. Some called it genius. Others screamed it was bigoted Gervais he lives for. This stuff the guy roasted Hollywood at the Golden Globes and walked away laughing. But behind the scenes, Sunny Hostin was plotting a massacre. A production assistant spilled later that they overheard her in the green room, rallying her team like a coach before a big game. This transphobic British fool thinks he's clever, she reportedly snapped. Let's show America what he really is, a hate monger hiding behind punchlines. They had a full-on hit job ready, clips from his routines, cherry-picked, stripped of context, and edited to make him look like Public Enemy #1. No friendly chat, no warm welcome, just an all-out attack planned. The show kicked off at 10 a.m. after some last-minute tweaks. The Hot Topic segment started, as usual, with Whoopi Goldberg steering the ship, looking calm, but totally aware of the storm brewing. Joy Behar, the panel's firecracker, nodded along as Sunny launched her opening salvo. Comedians today, she said with that loyally tone that cuts like a knife, they've traded humor for hatred. It's not funny, it's harm for the audience. Murmur clapping here, and their joy jumped. And absolutely, we need to call it out. Whoopi stayed neutral, her face unreadable, but you could tell she was bracing for impact. Backstage, Gervais was cool as a cucumber. His manager later said he was weirdly excited, fiddling with his phone, playing some game, maybe Candy Crush, just passing time. He knew they were coming for him. The manager dished, and he had ammo locked and loaded. It was like he sniffed out the ambush from miles away. Gervais isn't the type to walk into a fight blind. He's made a career poking bears, but he's also a research ninja. Turns out he dug deep on Sunny, and boy did he find dirt. Then it was time. Whoopi's voice boomed. Please welcome to The View the hilarious and controversial Ricky Gervais. The crowd clapped politely, but the vibe was off, tense, like everyone knew something was about to explode. Gervais sauntered out, that massive grin plastered on his face, like he was at a comedy club, not a firing squad. He greeted each host with over-the-top charm, a bow, for Whoopi a dramatic handshake, for Joy, and for Sunny a cheery, lovely to meet you. That screamed sarcasm. The panel squirmed. Sunny did wait a beat, no small talk, no pretense. She went straight for throat. Ricky, your comedy's been called dangerous, harmful, bigoted. How do you defend hate speech? As human, the studio when silent eyes popped. This wasn't an interview, it was a trial. But Gervais's grin just got wider like a lion spotting dinner. Sunny, lovely to meet you too. He said, all Sunny himself, I've been called lots of things, but never by someone who compared gay marriage to bestiality. Oh wait, should I not bring that up? Bam, the room froze. You could have heard a feather drop. Sunny's face went pale like she'd seen her career flash before her eyes. The audience gasped, some shocked, others whispering like wildfire. That a complete mischaracterization. Sunny shot back, her voice a touch too fast, too shaky. Is it? Gervais said, smooth as silk. Should I play the audio? I brought on my phone. Amazing what people forget they've said on old radio shows. He pulled out his iPhone, waving it like a weapon to power, flipped in a heartbeat. Sunny set the trap, but Gervais turned it on her. Joy, try to jump in. We're here to talk your problematic comedy. Ricky, not deflect problematic. Gervais laughed, leaning back. I make jokes about everything, religion, politics, the lot. Sunny makes real discriminatory statements, then plays moral saint, which is worse. He locked eyes with Sunny. You call me dangerous, say it again. Explain how my jokes are worse than your actual legal arguments against equal rights. Sunny stumbled for a split second. Her cool cracked. The audience felt the murmurs grew louder, but Gervais was just getting started. You know what's fascinating about you, Sunny? You built a whole career on picking your outrage. You defend some groups like your life depends on it, but attack others without blinking. That's not principle, it's a performance. I stand up for marginalized communities. Sunny fired back, her voice tinged with desperation. Do you, though? Gervais shot back then. Explain your comment about Asian students in universities, the ones ABC made you apologize for. Should I read them out? He paused, letting the weight sink in. Whoopi, looking genuinely stunned, turned to Sunny, what comments? Gervais didn't wait. She said Asian students were taking spots from deserving minorities, like working hard in school is stealing. But sure, she's a champion of justice. The audience erupted murmurs, turning to angry chatter. A few Asian American folks in the crowd looked furious, nodding hard. But Gervais wasn't done. Or how about your comments on poor white people? You said they chose their poverty through bad decisions. Real progressive that. Compassionate as a brick, those were taken out of context. Sunny protested, her voice wobbling now. Context, Gervais scoffed. The context was you on a podcast laughing about trailer parks like they're a punchline. But my jokes are the problem. He stood up, turning to the audience like he was back on stage. This woman pretends to fight discrimination while dishing it out. She demands apologies from everyone, but never gives them. She claims moral authority, but she's morally bankrupt. Sunny's eyes flashed. You're attacking me personally. No love, Gervais said, calm but sharp. I'm quoting you accurately. If your own words sound like attacks, what does that say about you? Then came the big one, the real knockout. Your former law partner reached out to me, told me about the cases you refused, discrimination lawsuits you wouldn't touch because the victims were the wrong minorities. Should we get into those? That's attorney-client privilege. Sunny blurted, grasping for anything. Not when you're turning people away based on race. Gervais fired back. That's just racism. The law degree Sarah Haynes, who'd been quiet, looked shaken. Sunny, is this true? She asked softly. The panel splitting right there on live TV. Sunny couldn't answer straight. Her silence was louder than any words. Gervais smelled blood and went in for the kill. You attacked my comedy for being offensive, but you built a career on actually offensive statements. The difference? I'm joking, you're serious. He pulled out a folder, actual paper, old school style. I've got 17 examples here of you making discriminatory remarks, then claiming they were misunderstood. This is an ambush, Sunny cried. No, Gervais said, shaking his head. You ambushed me with edited clips of my routines. I'm just hitting back with your actual record. Big difference. And the big exit. Gervais said, heading for the door, but paused like a true showman. I'm done with this show, he declared. But before I go, let me break down comedy versus real discrimination. Comedy mocks everyone equally. That's true equality. You mock only the approved. Targets while protecting others. That's not. Progressive, it's selectively prejudiced. I fight for justice, Sunny insisted, her voice breaking. You fight for attention, Gervais shot back. There's a huge difference between activism and opportunism. You're an opportunist who's turned outrage into a paycheck. He faced a camera speaking to millions at home. To everyone watching, remember this, those who police humor usually have the most to hide. Those demanding censorship are often the most offensive, and those claiming moral superiority, they're usually the most morally bankrupt. Sunny threw a desperate shot. This will destroy your career in America. Gervais laughed, a real deep belly laugh. My career, Netflix, just tossed me $50 million for 3 more specials. Your threats are as empty as your principles. But he wasn't done. The big finisher. You know the real difference between us. I admit I'm offensive. It's part of the gig. You pretend you're not. I own my words. You deny yours. That's not integrity. That's cowardice. You don't know what I've been through, Sunny said, fishing for sympathy. And you don't know what the subject of my jokes have been through. Gervais counter, but you assume the right to be offended for them. That's not empathy, it's narcissism. It was over. Sunny sat frozen as Gervais strode off. The audience total split, some clapping while the others stunned silent. The show cut to commercial in a frenzy. When they came back, Whoopi mumbled, we're experiencing technical difficulties, her voice shaky. Behind the scenes, pure chaos. Producers scrambling, phones exploding. Within minutes, Gervais exposed his hypocrisy was trending worldwide. Clips of the showdown hit millions of views in hours. People dug up old recordings confirming every accusation. Sunny's radio clip on gay marriage found in fuller podcasts laughing at poor whites crystal clear. The Asian student comments right there in an old interview. Former colleagues piled on. One ex-law partner tweeted anonymously at first, then went public. Yes, she refused cases if the victims didn't fit her narrative. It was selective justice. Asian American groups blasted her university. Remarks demanding accountability. Poor white communities online roared, sharing how her words cut deep. Sunny tried damage control. The next day on social media, Ricky Gervais took my words out of context to deflect from his problematic comedy. She posted, but the internet had the receipts, full videos, unedited audio. The context, it made her look worse, not better. No spin could save her. Gervais dropped a statement that was pure fire. I make offensive jokes, Sunny makes offensive statements. I admit mine are meant to provoke. She pretends hers aren't. That's the line between comedy and cowardice that sparked global debates on selective outrage comedy, policing, and media hypocrisy. ABC moved fast, Sunny, on immediate leave pending investigation, discrimination, complaints poured and based on revelations, her legal career under scrutiny with ethics boards circling. It was unraveling like a bad movie. Meanwhile, Gervais's special smash Netflix records comedy circles called the moment legendary masterclass. In flipping the script, it became the Gervais revelation studied in universities for how selective outrage can backfire hard. The deeper impact, it shifted the whole conversation on offensive comedy versus real prejudice. Gervais proved jokes aren't the real threat, it's actual discrimination dressed up as progressivism. Sunny's extended leave turned permanent, her social justice warrior rep toast burned by her own words. Years later, Gervais reflected in an interview, Sunny tried to cancel me for laughs while hiding real bias. That's like an arsonist joining the fire department. The irony delicious, her empty chair on The View became a symbol of the death of fake progressivism on TV. No more hypocrisy without consequences. Gervais did the impossible, showing comedy isn't progress's enemy, but selective outrage is. He proved those pushing censorship often deserve it most, and Sunny, the self-appointed morality cop, she was the biggest problem in the room. The accuser became the accused, convicted by her own words. I'm Done With This Show became a rallying cry for comedians everywhere, a badge of fighting back and winning against hypocritical attacks. That day, viewers saw something unreal, comedian dismantling a moral giant, not with jokes, but cold hard facts. Game over. Let's dig deeper, because the backstory is just as wild. Ricky Gervais didn't stumble into this. He's been prepping for these fights his whole career. Born in Reading, England, 1961. He started as a musician, then jumped to comedy in the 90s. The Office made him a global name. But his stand-up raw, unfiltered, that's his real battleground. Specials like Humanity and Supernature tackled taboos head on, earning love and hate in equal doses. Sunny Hostin climbed through law and media, a former prosecutor. She joined The View in 2016, branded herself the panel's justice voice, but whispers followed, old clips, forgotten interviews that clashed with her TV persona. The lead up to the episode tense. Gervais's team got wind of the ambush days earlier. We knew they were loading up. His manager said Gervais spent hours compiling dossiers, not just on Sunny, but the whole panel. He's like a detective when provoked. A friend said, on set, the air crackle makeup artist gossip about Sunny's prep. She was furious about his trans jokes. One said Gervais sipped tea backstage, scrolling Twitter for laughs. When the clash hit, it wasn't just words, it was theater. Gervais relaxed, yet commanding. Sunny, rigid, defensive. Whoopi tried mediating, but the train was derailed. Post-show, the fallout was massive. ABC's phones rang non-stop. Sponsors flinched. Online memes exploded. Gervais as a superhero, Sunny as the villain unmasked. Let's unpack those 17 examples. Gervais mentioned real zingers. One, the gay marriage comment from a 2009 radio spot, arguing against it with extreme analogies. Two, Asian students stealing spots from a 2018 panel talk. Three, poor whites choosing poverty podcast 2020. And on it were remarks on immigrants, religion, even body shaming in old columns, each verified, chipped at her image. Activists who'd praise or turn critical. Hypocrisy hurts the cause. One LGBTQ leader tweeted Gervais's career through the roof. Tour sold out, book deals flooded in. He joked in his next special, tried to cancel me, ended up promoting me. Cheers. The View shifted. Two more balanced talks, less gotcha trap. Sunny's exit left a gap, replacements treaded lightly. This echoes bigger cultural shifts in cancel culture. Gervais showed facts beat feelings, less an attack, comedy at your peril if your own house isn't clean. Philosophically, Gervais argues comedy's role tests boundaries, exposes absurdities. Sunny's way weaponized offense. He called it using outrage for clout, not change. Critics split. Bully or hero fans said hero, pointing to equal mockery. Detractors claimed deflection, but evidence backed him. Social media, huge threads dissected every second, timelines flooded with clips. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment.